Yesterday, the all-share index had lost about 95 basis points. Today, modest, well, I guess a more severe loss of 1.18%. Just what are your impressions of how the market is trading over the last 24 hours?
Okay, thank you very much. The market actually lost 1.18% today. We saw value coming down by about 19.6% today, and total volume traded today came down by about 49.5% today. We saw the the negative movement in index being driven largely by Dangote Sugar, Dangote Flour, UACN, UBA, and Zenith Bank. The banking sector actually accounted for 58.7% of the total value executed on the market today. We saw the market closing largely on offer, with the banking sector closing about 59.7% of the total offer in the market today.
All right, just talk to us about Fidelity Bank under the spotlight. Busola, they're proposing a dividend.
Okay, yeah. Fidelity Bank is actually proposing a dividend of 2.5 kobo. This is actually lower than an expectation of 8 kobo that we were expecting from them. But we actually are very bullish on Fidelity Bank, and we still recommend it as a buy because its forward price to book ratio is actually 0.5 compared to the industry average, which is 1.08%. We actually feel that it's actually a very good bank and that should still be bought by investors.
Okay, obviously the banks are under a lot of scrutiny at the moment, Busola, with the advent of the asset management company that the president must simply sign into law, and a lot of investors asking themselves, where is fair value in the tier 1 banks or the tier 2 banks, and again a focus on the rescued banks, and which would spark any more interest. Just what's the sentiments around banking going forward?
Well, there's a lot of sentiments around it. We feel that the tier 2 banks, the likes of Fidelity, Sky Bank, are actually good banks that should be looked at. Though the likes of First Bank, GT Bank, Zenith Bank actually a very good stock to buy. Let's not forget that the banking sector actually account for about 50% of the total capitalization in the market. So I feel the banking sector is actually a very good main sector to look at.
All right, another issue that's come under the spotlight today is SIM Capital, which will be floating stock in an IPO of 5 billion naira. Any market reaction to that?
The SIM, I'll start by saying that SimCap is actually an alliance between Capital Alliance and Salam Investment Limited. They're actually looking at raising 5 billion naira by issuing 50 million of 100 naira each at 103.50. It's actually going to be a closed mutual fund, and the money will be invested in the Nigerian capital market, the fixed income, and maybe possibly on quoted companies if they're able to get an approval from SEC. I feel this is actually going to be a welcome development because the main objective is to look at some long-term capital growth, and which people would want to look at too and look for a way to preserve their capital.